What'd you do?
I don't know. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Post Falls Urban Renewal Agency Commission meeting. It is February 20th, 2020, also known as 2/20/2020. It's kind of cute. Anyway, I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask for Commissioner roll call, please.
Clemenson.
Here.
Coles has not arrived. Baltzell.
Here.
Carstensen.
Here.
Crosby.
Here.
Horn. Commissioner Davis has an excused absence this morning.
Okay, very good. Eric, would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all, everyone, and welcome. Okay, let's work through the agenda this morning. Ceremonies, appointments, and announcements. I'm not aware of anything in that category today, so unless somebody else does, we'll go ahead and move on to conflict disclosure. Do any of the commissioners have any conflicts to disclose with regard to anything that is on our agenda this morning?
No.
Nope. Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent calendar.
Thank you. Item A in the consent calendar is the commission meeting minutes of January 16th. Item B is the workshop minutes of February 11th. Item C is the communications, property, and personnel meeting minutes of February 11th. Item D is payables for this month totaling $480,096.32, which includes the semi-annual payment to Washington Trust Bank for $469,000. Item E is a bank activity report, which shows total in all funds of $7,266,541.16 and accrued interest for the month of $5,696.25. Item F is the financial reports as of January 31st, and item G is the amendment to the agency bylaws. Your approval of the consent calendar will transfer $5,696.25 accrued interest to the general fund and transfer to the First Interstate checking account $480,096.32 for the general payables. I would answer any questions.
I'd make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Seconded.
I do have a question, if we could, right at the moment. Could you just give a very brief overview on the amendment to the bylaws?
Yes, I can sure do that,
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman. The amendments focus on Article 2, Sections 3 and 4 of the bylaws, which previously provided that the commission appointed vacancies on the commission, and also that the commission was involved in removing an officer for misconduct. The way the statute reads now is that the mayor and the city council perform both those tasks. So I changed that. And then also in Article 4, we updated that to reflect the current language in the statute regarding the requirement to post agendas, agenda and meeting notices online. So those are basically the only changes.
So these were all changes, just bringing it in conformance with recent changes in legislation.
Correct, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I just thought it'd be good to have it reviewed for the record. Okay, thank you very much. We have a motion and a second. Let's see, roll call vote.
Clemenson.
Aye.
Baltzell.
Aye.
Carstensen.
Aye.
Crosby.
Aye.
Horn. Aye. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Motion carried. Committee updates, finance and policy. Commissioner Crosby.
Committee reviewed the financials that have just been approved for the month of January and found no discrepancies and no problems. Other than that, we had no activity.
Okay, thank you very much. District review, Commissioner Coles is not here. Anyone else want to speak to that issue? Okay. Communications, property, and personnel, Commissioner Carstensen.
If you've noticed in your packet you got, there was a the minutes of our last meeting, which was held after the workshop the other day. We talked about the agency website update, upcoming office needs. At that time, the executive director suggested a paper shredder, and with the amount of money in the current budget that we just told her to get one out of the current budget instead of waiting for the new budget. And then we went into executive session to discuss the evaluation of an employee, staff member, or individual agent regarding salary. And nothing was finalized at that time. We'll wait till later in the fiscal year for salary review. Is there anybody have any, we weren't in there very long, but anybody have any questions regarding that?
So you prepare a recommendation during the budget process for
Right.
the new fiscal year?
I've talked to our treasurer already, and we know pretty much where we're at, so.
Okay, sounds good. Any other questions? Okay. Moving right along, item 6, citizen comments. This section of the agenda is reserved for citizens wishing to address the commission regarding an agency-related issue. Comments related to future public hearings should be held for that public hearing, and persons wishing to speak will have 5 minutes. Is that part of their 5 minutes? Okay, it doesn't look like we're going to have any of those citizen comments. Unfinished business. Are you aware of any? I'm not.
No.
New business, approval of semi-annual proponent reimbursements.
Per Agency Policy 7, tax increment received by the agency for each of the urban renewal districts is dispersed in February and August each year for project cost reimbursement. The February reimbursements will be distributed as follows. Centerpoint, the proponent is Point Partners LLC. Their reimbursement amount will be $509,950.76. Their remaining obligation will then be lowered to $284,463.69. In the Tullamore District, Copper Basin is the proponent. Their reimbursement amount will be $461,133.89, reducing their obligation to $2,428,714.55. The Tullamore Commons 2, Whitewater Creek is the proponent. Their reimbursement amount is $11,086.79. The remaining obligation will be $183,084.77. In the Expo District, J.R. Watson and Associates is the proponent. Their reimbursement amount will be $218,799.19. The remaining obligation will be reduced to $284,196.14. And in West Saltese, Greenstone Corporation is the proponent. Their reimbursement is $187,019.56. The remaining obligation, $99,291.06, which will be paid off in August of this year, and then that district will close. Point Partners, Whitewater Creek, has a current balance of $88,869.56 that is being held until the agreement between Whitewater Creek and Point Partners is signed. And we have started to receive increment for the Post Falls Technology District, and we'll track those monies for future reimbursement of public infrastructure. So a motion would be in order with a roll call vote to approve these proponent payments in the stated amounts and authorize transfer of $1,387,990.19 to the First Interstate checking account for that purpose.
Okay, are there any questions on the reimbursements?
Just a clarification comment, Mr. Chairman. Just for the public, the reimbursements that we're making are all for public improvements that have been planned, completed, paid for by the proponent, dedicated to the city, and approved by the city. So we're just simply taking accrued tax increment and reimbursing them And the remaining obligation is our projection when we entered the plan as to what the cost would be for the proposed projects and improvements of the district during its life. It doesn't mean that we have an obligation to pay those funds. It's conditioned on the development being created, and it's also conditioned on the tax increment being received. So when a district closes, if there's an obligation remaining, that obligation is void. So I just wanted to clarify those two
Yeah,
issues.
appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Also, in the West Saltese 2 district, 2 years ago, we didn't think that that district would be paid in full by the time it closed. And so things have changed out there, and now we will be able to, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, very good. Okay, any other questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
I would move the approval of the reimbursements as stated by the director.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, roll call vote, please.
Horn? Aye. Crosby?
Aye.
Carstensen?
Aye.
Baltzell?
Aye.
Clemenson?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion carried. Staff report and updates.
Thank you. I spoke with Jim Watson out in the Expo District, and he gave me an update of activities out there. Summit Mold, they have a location on Celtice Way right now, and they have financing in place and will start construction to expand their facility and create additional jobs. They are currently operating out of a 12,000 square foot building, and they're gonna add another 24,000 square foot building with a breezeway to connect the two. Currently, they have 12 employees and expect to expand that to 30 to 35 employees within the next 2 years. And they have another deal that is expected to close April 15th for 10 acres just west of the surgical center on Expo Parkway. And construction on that parcel would then begin in late summer. And Romney Motion is expanding their business on Innovation Way. Mr. Watson wanted me to relay that if it weren't for urban renewal, he would not have been able to build the Commerce Park. So he's very appreciative of urban renewal. And yesterday, I attended bid openings on Phase 1 of the lift station on 12th Avenue. And the bids ranged from $3.4 million to $4.6 million. The engineer's estimate was $4.566 million. So the low bid was over $1 million under bid. So they have to review those and make sure that everything is in compliance, and then they'll award those bids.
All but one. Only one was exceeding
Estimate.
the
Right.
estimate, right? So that's really encouraging.
Yeah, so that's for Phase 1. And then Chairman Baltzell, you inquired on the money saved by paying down the principal on the Washington Trust Bank loan. So I got together with Nelson Gurley from Washington Trust, and we've saved $94,210.56 in interest by making the extra principal loan payments.
Not bad. So we saved $100,000 just by using our
Yeah.
opportunity to negotiate a little bit. That's great. Thank you for doing that.
I have a question on the lift station project. What's the timeline for awarding of that contract is anticipated?
They will award the contract at the first meeting in March, and then construction will begin, I believe, in April.
Wow, excellent. Excellent. Moving ahead. Thank you very much. Any other commissioner comments?
I have one. I attended the city council meeting earlier this week where the director presented the annual report. I just want to say she did a great job and elicited some nice complimentary comments from the mayor about the presentation and the agency overall.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Dan. I think when we saw it too, we were all very pleased with the picture that it showed, and it's honest and truthful and shows a good resource management on behalf of our citizens. So that's what we're all about for the community. So that's great. You did a good job on the presentation, and
Thank you.
You can go on vacation now.
Yay.
Any other comments from the commissioners?
I'd just like to say that there's a lot of discussion going on about the benefit or lack thereof of urban renewal. And I think that our Urban Renewal Commission has done an excellent job for Post Falls. I think there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of people that are talking to one another, but they're not looking at our website. They're not asking us a question. They're not coming to our meetings. Commissioner Carstensen attended a meeting where people were suggesting that we were all being paid. I'd write anybody who comes to our meeting a check for twice my salary that I get from the Urban Renewal, because it's zero. So twice zero is zero. And I get no benefits either, other than the ability to come up at 8 o'clock in the morning and meet with these fine gentlemen and ladies.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make that statement. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much. And I've been reading some of the items in the newspaper and listening to people too. And when they rant and rave about urban renewal, how terrible it is, and they can't support it. And then they say, but Post Falls does it right.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, and don't be so mean. But I think that we just need to keep going forward the way we have been, working closely with our city. I think that's a big thing. We don't have the city that we're trying to fight or that wants to do us to do more than we should, and working together and communicating. And I think that helps tremendously. And I don't think without their support and willingness to work with us and communicate with us, I think it would not be anywhere near as good. But we still have consistently, for a long time, been conservative, and yet have our heads on straight, we think anyway, for the most part, to get things done that are important to the community. So, yeah, that's nice to read those things sometimes, just to see what people are thinking, but a lot of them don't really know, what we're really doing here. So I know the mayor and staff, when they're out speaking in the community, they're very complimentary of urban renewal and the work you all do. And so thank you all for doing that. And we can be proud of what we do, and we'll keep doing it until it's no longer needed, which will be a long time. Okay, any other comments up and down the road here? Okay, if not, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We are adjourned.